Hi, everybody. Hey, welcome. Come on in. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so happy to be here with you and to share this information with you today. So, let's get this party started. So, we're here, and I'm just going to have you settle in and let's take just a few deep breaths together. So, breathe in, close your eyes, and breathe in. And release. And as you breathe in through your nose, filling up that belly. Hold it at the top for just a minute and let it go. Breathe in again, nice and deep. And settling into just this moment. So being here, right now. As we gather together and we talk about the new energies that are rising up and how this is such an amazing time for all of us to be moving forward, to be visioning forward, to be looking to our future and clearing our past. So, taking a few deep breaths, find your center core. Send your roots down to the earth. It's like a pillar of light, just a beam of light. Send it down to the center of the earth, connecting to the earth energies, to that Mother Earth energy. Pull that back up and breathe in and align right through the top of your head. Connecting to the universe, to your source, to your flow, your creative flow, whatever that looks like for you. There is no right or wrong way to do this. And just your intention itself will align you and connect you above and below. And you can welcome in your guides and angels, teachers and healers of the highest truth and compassion to come and guide you and help you hear the truths that you need to hear at this time. Whether you're here with me now or in a replay, know that this energy is here for you. All right, open your eyes and welcome. Hey, everybody, welcome here. Oh, itchy nose. Okay. Good to have you here with me this morning. I'm so excited to share some information with you. So for those of you that are new and don't know me, we have quite a few new people in our group. Good morning. I am Janice Gallant, and I am a teacher and an artist and a creativity coach. I am your creativity coach, and what that means is that I remind you that being in your creative flow is where your power lies. And so we work on our mindset and we work on cleaning up old debris. Hello, Kimber, so good to see you here. Hi, Barb. Hi, Patty. Thank you for coming. All right, let's go. Because you know what? I watch live videos before live stream videos with other teachers, and I just hate it when they linger and hang around at the beginning. And I know why they do that. They do that because they want to get more people on and they want to get the word spread out. The more people that come on and say hi, then the better it is and the feed gets out. So say hello and give me a wave because it does help it spread out to other people. But we're in a private group, so let's just get going here. Okay, so my intention for you this morning is to fire you up, to get you more in alignment and to get you inspired to move forward in your life. Because right now we are sitting in some very powerful energies. And I know that it looks different when you look out at the world and you see what's going on, it feels very stagnant to you. And this is true for a lot of people. But if you are in alignment with your higher power, you are probably picking up on some new energies this week, some new energies of moving forward. And I know this is happening. I feel it. I know other people that feel it. And I know that astrologically things are lining up this week. So it is time for us to move forward. It is time for us to gather up our own passions, our own intentions, and to start visioning forward in our life, because we are going to get through all of this coronavirus. And I hate even saying the word. We're going to get through this. We're going to get to the top of the hill, and we're going to be able to look forward and see the light coming up and see a new vision for your life. So that is my intention for you today. So what I want to tell you, first of all, is like about 3 years ago, I published a book called The Creation Guild, and many of you know this, and thank you for your support. And The Creation Guild is a handbook to create in your life. It is the step-by-step of what you need to do in order to be manifesting in your life and co-creating with a powerful force, right? And the subtitle is Imagine the Powerful Flow That Begins When You Build Space to Purposefully Create. Purposefully is the key word there. And creating is what we do every day, because we are creative beings. We are co-creating with the universe when we put our mind to that. So I think it's like one of the best books out there. Thank you, Kimber. I think it is one of the best books out there for a step-by-step, clear guidebook of, okay, well, what do I do? How do I get going, right? It gives you the tools that you need to start manifesting. But even after I wrote that book, I still had intermittent manifesting. I found that month after month, I was hitting a ceiling. I could manifest so much, but I could only get to a certain level. And then I bump up against the ceiling. And that was frustrating for me, because I thought, I'm doing all the things. I'm doing everything that I have learned over the last 25 years to learn to how to manifest consciously, but I was still not able to do it all the time, right? And I was hitting the ceiling, and I was falling back into this lack mentality continually. So my life was like this boom and bust, right? Boom and bust and boom and bust. And I would manifest, and then it would go back again. So when, things like holiday seasons came around, and it would bring in all the usual stresses, or when my life got really busy, I found that I was slipping back into that scarcity, that lack mentality. And life would be like paycheck to paycheck, and, trying to get enough money to go shopping for Christmas, and trying to get enough money to take that holiday. And so I was getting really fed up with that. I wanted to go above and beyond that. I wanted to get into that overflow, right? Not just enough to survive and be comfortable, but get into that overflow, right? So the moment that desperation hits is that's the moment when your creativity arrives. That's when you get to that point where you're like, okay, enough. I've had enough, right? So that's what I did. I announced to the universe that, you know what? I am so done with hitting this ceiling and not getting beyond, right? I am so done with that. And I really, really wanted to learn this stuff. If I was going to be teaching this, I need to figure this out. And so I was just really, talking to the universe and saying, like, enough's enough. I've had enough. I got to a frustration level where I said, like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, it's either do or die now. We're going to do this, or I'm going to just forget it all and leave it and not coach and teach and that sort of thing. So I was like, come on, universe, like what the heck, right? So what happened at that point was I started to level up. Okay. I got so determined in my mind that I was going to figure this out. And I was so earnestly in my heart saying to the universe, show me what I need to know so that I can teach other people how to do this. Show me what am I missing? What is happening that I keep hitting this ceiling? And so my intention was really clear that whatever was keeping me stuck in lack, I was going to figure it out. And instead of waiting for the universe, I said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to figure this out. So there was two things that I did at that time. The first thing was I recognized that doing it my way wasn't helping me because I seemed to be stuck in this undertow or on this treadmill, and I wasn't getting there. There was something missing and I needed some help for that. So what I did was I leveled up with a new coach, my own mindset coach, a higher level coach, and a very expensive higher level coach, to make that clear. So I said, you know what? Okay, I know that I need some help with this, so I leveled up with that. The second thing I did after I had started with my coach was I made the decision to go to Gabby Bernstein's level 2 training for Spirit Junkie. And I had taken level 1 training with her like about a year before, and I really, really wanted to take the level 2, but there's a couple things that was stopping me. First of all, money, because you had to go to New York, you had to go to the second level training. The first level training is offered online. Second level is all one-on-one, basically right there with her. And so that meant that I would have to go to New York for a week and spend training with her. And that brought up a lot of fear for me. Fear, first of all, traveling alone, right? So traveling to New York from where I am required a couple different flights. There is no real direct flight there. And it required, overnight layovers. So I'd be staying in different locations in Chicago and then in New York, and then coming back would be the same sort of thing. So I was really kind of like, ooh, I've never traveled in the States by myself. And I'd never traveled to New York State. And not only is the cost of the training super expensive, but the cost of the flight and the hotels and staying at the retreat center, all of that. So it was a huge leap for me. And I was hemming and hawing about it for about 6 months. But when I got my new coach, we worked through some of those fears. And all of a sudden I went, okay, that's it. Like, I'm going. I don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm going. And as soon as I made that decision, everything started to fall into place. Miracles happened. The money started to flow in, and I would just sit down and think, okay, this is what I need for this ticket to get there. This is what I need to actually purchase the course itself. And then the next day, honest to goodness, you guys, miracles, like the next day I would be given the money in some way, shape, or form. So this kept happening. And right through the whole trip, it was like a miraculous trip. Even my boarding pass was 1:11. The time for my boarding pass was 1:11. So it was very cool. So anyways, I took the steps. I stopped waiting for signs from the universe. And I just said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. And I took the steps and I took the leap off the edge of that cliff. And the universe came with me. So there's those 3 steps to manifesting that I had forgotten, and not forgotten, but had gotten lax about. But the first one is that I got really aligned with my heart and my heart's desires, and I committed to that. That was important. The second step was I got super, super clear on what I wanted, right? So that is super important. And then I declared it to the universe. The third step was I said, I'm doing this. So, universe, you're coming along with me. We're going to do this, right? And when you're stuck in fears, when you're stuck in lack mentality or scarcity mentality, that's a mindset, right? And a mindset can be changed. So all of our blocks are a mindset, and your mindset can be changed, and it's up to us to do that, right? So studies actually show that only about 20% of the population in the world will work on their mindset, right? They will work on their self-concept. So your self-concept is what you think, right? So what you think about yourself. Your self-esteem is what you feel about yourself. So the rest of the people work like the 80% of the world lives from their self-esteem, which is their feelings. And your feelings are what create that's what law of attraction works on, is your feelings. What are you feeling? That's what you're bringing in. But if you are not paying attention to what those feelings are that are going through you, if you are not working on that mindset and that self-concept of what you're thinking, then you're just going to be like all over the place, because our emotions take us into all these different areas, right? They just ebb and flow depending on what's going on around us. But when we get into working on our own mindset, that's when we gain control over what's going on. Okay? So your feelings create your vibration, which is what law of attraction responds to. So learning how to change your mindset will change your life. Lack mentality is living in the fear of not enough. Scarcity is in the fears of not enough. So first of all, I want to ask you to take a minute right now to identify what is a fear that you're living in right now. So as we move through, we'll talk about that a little bit more. It might be that there's not enough time. I think most of us probably have more time right now, but I do have that fear being in, like, I have a birthday coming up, and I do have the fear of time running out for me to do all the things that I want to do in my life right now, right? Maybe you're in the fear of not enough money right now. You're worried about next month or the month after that. Maybe you're in the fear of losing your job. Maybe you're in the fear of not enough health, that maybe your health will go downhill. That's a big one right now. A lot of people are worried about that, right? Or not enough love. Maybe you're in the fear that you'll never find that relationship that you want, right? So fear is the mentality of survival of the fittest, right? So I need to get more before it's all gone. I need to get my share. That's where fear sits. And recognizing these fears is when we can shift from fear to love. Because in A Course in Miracles, we're taught that there is only fear and love. Those are the only two emotions, right? Fear and love. Everything is underneath that. The ego loves to keep us in fear, okay? So fear of not enough and fear of not being worthy enough are our two biggest blocks. The ego is going to keep you in that spiral of lack, as long as we let it. That's why it's so important to start working on your mindset and to start recognizing what are the fears that are controlling your life right now. So first of all, there's a lot of fears going on right now. There's a lot of anxiety. And when anxiety comes up for you, 98% of the problem with anxiety in the world is a spiritual lack, right? A disconnection from your own source. a disconnection from knowing why you are here, recognizing that you are here for a reason, a purpose, and taking up the space that you deserve to take up here in this world. Okay, so sorry, I digress. So as you have these fears coming up from you, you need to be able to recognize where they're coming from. We have a really great website that we put together called Free from Fear, and I will post that in the comments underneath this video. But it is a fabulous website. It is free for everyone. And so you just go there. You do have to sign up, but that's okay. Just sign up and you'll get this website, and it's got all sorts of podcasts and videos and activities that are designed to help you move out of fear during this time. There's a couple other methods that I use. One is, of course, meditating. You need to be meditating, absolutely. Every day, be working on your presence, your breathing, being here, right now. Because every time we move into fear, we're either in the past or in the future. And they are not relevant to the power that you hold right here and right now. So practice that meditation every day, just breathing and getting connected to your breath. I also do guided meditations through my emails. So every Monday morning email that you get, on the bottom are 2 free guided meditations for you. So make sure that you use those to your benefit, or go on to YouTube and find there are so many guided meditations. You don't have to pay for these things. There's so many guided meditations out there. Use those to help you calm and vision for your future. Okay, the other one that I use all the time is called Ego Eradicator, and this is a Kundalini Yoga Kriya. So Ego Eradicator is fabulous for clearing my head and also clearing out fear in my body. So here's how you do it. So I am not a Kundalini Yoga teacher, but that's okay. I can teach this to you and you can still use it. So your Ego Eradicator is when you sit and you put your arms up at about 60 degrees, and you want your thumbs pointing up. So your fingers are tight into your palms and your thumbs are pointed up, straight up, like plugged into the universe, right? You are going to be focusing on your third eye. You're going to close your eyes, your arms will be up. You hold your arms up there and you're focusing on your third eye, and you do breath of fire. So breath of fire, if you don't know how to do breath of fire, it is short, rapid breathing in and out through your nose for this one. And you just put your hand on your belly for a minute, because I can show you how to do this. So it's almost like your belly becomes a billow, and you're breathing in and out through your nose very rapidly. And you let your belly expand as you breathe in, and out, or contract as you breathe out. So when you breathe in, your belly comes out, so you can feel that with your hand. And when you breathe out, your belly goes in. And you want to keep doing that really quickly. So it's in and out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, right? And your hands are up at the 60 degrees and you stay there. So turn on a song like that you can listen to, like a 3.5 minute song, and do it for the length of the song. So you're breathing in and out really rapidly, eyes closed, focused on third eye, fingers plugged in. And when you get to the end of the song, take in a deep breath in and bring your arms straight up overhead, and you want your thumbs to touch, okay? And then breathe out, expanding your aura and letting it go. Amazing for clearing your head. Like a lot of times my head almost hurts. It feels foggy in the morning, and this clears my head. And it also releases anxiety in my solar plexus chakras. So that's a really good one that I always teach you, everyone. you're supposed to get to 11 minutes of doing that. If you can, stay there for 11 minutes. If you can't, just work as long as you can, and that's good, right? You can work up to it. I have not gotten to 11 minutes yet. I do 3.5 minutes, and that works good for me. Okay, so the other thing to do is when you're feeling anxiety in your chakras, in awesome, yeah, it works really good, Kim. It does. In your chakras, in your lower chakras, is where your anxiety sits. Your anxiety is there, your fears are there in those first 3 chakras, because that is your connection to your 3D world, your earth, the things we manifest, and all of our trauma sits there. So trauma can be big things, big accidents, big things. It could be abuse of any kind. You know what trauma is. I don't have to explain that to you. But it can also be small things. So I always tell people, you know what? When I was in grade 4, I had a week where my friends decided they didn't like me. You know how kids can be. They didn't like me. They didn't want to hang around with me. So they would run away from me, right? And of course, it passed over time. And they became my friends again, and somebody else wasn't their friend. But that stuck with me as a form of rejection, right? And so all of those little things in our life that have happened, they sit in our lower chakras, in our cellular memory, within our body. And when we start to work on ourselves, when we start to become more spiritually aware, when we start to recognize that there's more to this world than just this 3D world, then we are bringing in more energy, and higher power energy runs through the top of your head and down your body, through the back, okay, through your back. And what it does is it causes all of these traumas to start bubbling up. And we need to clean house. We need to clear these out in order for more of these higher energies to flow in. And so there are so many people right now that are dealing with anxiety because all of this higher energy is flowing in, because we have more and more people doing this work, meditating, doing yoga, starting to focus on their own heart center. And this is causing everyone, because we are all connected, we heal together, we are all connected. This is causing everyone to have stuff coming up. So if you have found that you have old memories bubbling up within you of stuff that has gone on in your past, and you're like, I thought I was over that. Come on, let's move on. If you are finding that you're fed up with old patterns in your life, if you're fed up with the way things are going, if you're looking at your life and saying, jeepers, there must be more to life than this, then this is why. Is because the whole world is raising up to a new vibration. And now that sounds really woo-woo, but it's true. And our vibrations are connected to each other. And just you working on your own stuff and cleaning house affects the people around you and makes them want to level up too. So when you do your own house cleaning, when you start to work on these fears, clear them out, work on your mindset, then you are doing a service for the whole world. Okay? So there's another way for you to work on your fears. And actually, I talk about this in my book in chapter 2, Control Your Thoughts. But Gabby's Choose Again method was something that she went over and over with us during our training last fall. So the first step is notice the thought that you're having. Forgive the thought, because the thought shows you what you do want, right? It's clarifying what is not working in your life, and now you know what you do want. And choose again. So the choose again method, right? So choose again, what is one thing I can do or think or make me feel a little bit better, right? So that's really important. If you have not read Super Attractor yet, that's a really good book to put on your book list. Okay, so your job is to stop the ego in its tracks and redirect your thoughts. That's what the choose again method is all about. That's what controlling your thoughts is all about, is stopping the ego. So low vibe thoughts are very addictive though, right? And you need to interrupt the pattern of these thoughts as soon as you recognize that you're having them. That's what you want to work on. So what's the fear, right? Get to the root of it. So what is your fear? Identify it, right? Life feels really hard right now. Life feels like a struggle. It's really heavy. That's a fear of being unsupported. Okay. What's the fear of, I'm worried that I won't have enough money for groceries. That's a scarcity, lack mentality, right? I won't have enough energy to get everything done that I need to do. That's a pattern of fear, right? That's again a fear of being unsupported. So what are some of the fears that you have coming up? Just get really clear about them. What is the fear, right? We normally want to hide from those fears and pretend they're not there. But we need to actually call them out. We need to shine the light on them so that we can shift our mindset. Once we shine the light on them, it takes the power away from the ego, because now we know what we're dealing with, right? Now we're clear. It's like, well, what's the problem? Okay, let's clarify the problem, because once we have the problem, then we can work on the solution. So getting the solutions, though, the inspiration comes from you being in alignment. Right? So that's where working on your own, your yoga practice and eating healthy and your meditation practice, all of those things are going to help you. That's where the inspirations come, is when you start to get into alignment, you're aware of the fear and you start to say, okay, universe, here's the fear I'm working on. Help me figure out how to see this differently. Help me figure out how to get through this, right? So I have spent many, many years blocking out the universe, and so I get it, right? But I want to share with you my biggest understandings right now. There's three big things that I have recognized through my years of honing my skills as a conscious manifester. So the first one is that all is well. No matter what is going on, everything is going to be okay. So breathe. All of the big traumas and things that I went through in the past, everything worked out okay. Even when it didn't seem like it was okay, everything worked out okay, and I'm still here today. So remind yourself that everything is okay. The second thing is that there is no shortage. There is enough of everything to go around. There is enough love. There is enough money. There is enough food. There is enough health. Everything is in abundance, right? That scarcity is just a mindset thing that we've been taught. And the third thing is really big, is that you are worthy. You are worthy because you were born. You are as worthy as anyone else in the world. You are worthy of everything: abundance, love, health. That's a big one to work through, right? And so this brings me to the one thing that missing ingredient that I became aware of, that the universe shone the light on for me when I stepped up and when I said, I'm going to do this, right? So I said, I'm stepping forward. I'm clearing out this glass ceiling that I have here. And that missing ingredient that I learned over the last year was forgiveness. Okay. That was the missing ingredient. When we're standing in free flowing love, we're allowing and receiving, but when it's not coming through, it's because we are blocking it. And there is something that you are doing that is unconsciously punishing yourself. And when we can work on that and identify it and learn to forgive ourselves, then that is when everything shifts and changes. So after I did my CCD, my clarify, my commit, and my declare, the universe brought this to my attention, because before I went to my training with Gabby, I had to complete the book, May Cause Miracles. We had to work through that because she was giving us the training for that in the course. And on day 5 of working through this book, now I have to tell you, this book, like, I read this book before and it didn't resonate with me, and I don't think I even really completely finished it. But when I got committed and I said, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to work through this 40 days because that's what I need, and I'm so committed to my training with Gabby. So on day 5, I realized that there was some big things in my past that I had not forgiven myself for. Now, these are things that I thought I had worked through. I had done the therapy on it. I had absolutely found all the blessings from those situations that seemed like trauma, that seemed like the world was crumbling around me. But what I found, 13 years after the event, was that I had not forgiven myself for the events happening. There was 2 main ones. One was about 25 years ago. The other one was about 13 years ago that happened. And what I found, and I talk about this a lot more in my group, Clearing to Be Through Forgiveness, is I share this with everyone. But what I found was, all of a sudden, because I was ready, because I had declared to the universe that I want to work through this, this became super clear. And I started to see those events from a different perspective, and everything shifted for me. And I recognized the true blessings and the sacrifices that I had made. And in one of them was my son went through a drug addiction 13 years ago, which I did not see coming. And as mom, it was really, really hard to see him have to go through that. And I blamed myself without even realizing I had blamed myself for not seeing it coming and not being able to stop it. Because as his mom, I should have seen it. And I didn't realize I was still blaming myself. My son had worked through that. He became like this beautiful spiritual warrior. I love him. I'm so proud of him. He came through it bigger, better, stronger. And I came through it. Our whole family came through it bigger, better, stronger. And my new way of painting, that painting from my soul, had come out of that through that whole experience. But what I realized just last year, as I was working through all of this debris that was keeping me from getting to the goals that I wanted in my life, was that I still hadn't forgiven myself. Because as I wrote in my journal, I was really recognizing that I didn't want him to have to go through all that. Why couldn't I have stopped? Why didn't I see it coming? And so as I'm writing this out, I wrote down, please forgive me for not being the parent that I should have been. And the light bulbs went off, and I felt it releasing from my body. It physically just started pouring out of me. I was crying. I was retching this shame and this blame and this guilt from my body that I didn't even know I was holding on to, right? And after I, had a bit of a crying spiel and got it out, and I picked up my pen again and inspiration started flowing through. And what I learned in that moment was that I was not to blame. I was not the reason that he took this detour. Our children have their own path to walk. There was something in that experience that he needed to learn, and that he chose to go in that direction to learn. But what I did understand in that moment, that my husband and I, we were the lighthouse that helped him find his way back. Still gets me choked up because I am so incredibly grateful for that lesson, for that learning. So we helped him find the strength to rise above and find his way back home. And when I recognized that, when I got that message from the universe that there's no place for blame and shame, there's no reason for that, I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, and I felt freer. And the more beautiful thing was I really truly started to love myself more. Because when we are blaming or sitting in shame or guilt, there's a part of us that we cannot love and accept. And that part of us is blocking the flow of love from coming through. It's blocking our receiving. And after that, everything started to open up in my life. It was amazing how everything reflected back to me almost instantly. You know, my art workshop started to fill up. I felt really good, and I lost a couple pounds because, of course, we're carrying this weight with us, right? This heavy load. So it's releasing this load out to the universe, letting it go. And I started to break through that glass ceiling. And that is what I want to share with you in this May Cause Miracles amazing 40-day shift, right? So when we punish ourselves, we're keeping ourselves out of that flow. When we love ourselves fully, we give ourselves permission, right? We give ourselves permission to clear and to be clear on what we truly want. We give ourselves permission to be worthy to receive. It's an inside job. Everything on the outside comes from a reflection of what's going on the inside, right? We give ourselves permission to allow ourselves to get passionate and have that passionate impulse that guides you towards the next step, towards the opportunities that will take you to your heart's desires. We give ourselves permission to grow on our journey. And we keep going, and every day is one step closer to the world that you are creating as a creator, the world that you are dreaming about, the world that you are visioning, right? So creating in your life opens up when you do the work, when you are consciously co-creating. And that's a beautiful thing about doing the painting and the artwork along with this, is that there are so many deeper levels. Through the book, we do a lot of journaling, but we take it further in creative activities. So I walk you through each week, I walk you through new creative activities that are painting, are art journaling, things that will help you go further and deeper with the beautiful growth that you will get in the book. So forgiveness is softness. Forgiveness is holding yourself gently and releasing yourself from guilt and shame. The moment you forgive, this is what Gabby says, the moment you forgive the thought is the moment that you disassociate from the idea that you are the thought. So all those years, hi Dal, I'm so glad you're here, Darlene. You'll have to catch up. I'm almost at the end. But anyways, I lost my train of thought there, but that's okay. So, through all those years of holding that guilt and shame, I couldn't forgive myself. So I wasn't holding myself gently, and I was holding myself back from fully and completely reaching the dreams that I am visioning. Okay, so in clearing debris through forgiveness, we get to paint our wings for one thing. Over the 6 weeks, I teach you week by week in art workshops, and this is all online in videos. I teach you how to paint your wings. We walk through it. We infuse an energy into our wings. It's a shamanic process of infusing energy into your painting and our intentions into our painting. So it's a very different process than what you maybe have seen before. But what we're going to do is shake all the shadows out, right? Week by week. And the 6 weeks here, I'll just really quick give you an idea. You're going to spend time in your creative flow. You're going to take stream of consciousness writing and creating where shifts occur. Inspiration's going to come pouring through. The shifts at these last two, yes, you really need to get past the block you have in week 2. Yes. And we are going to do it this time for sure, Patty. The last 2 groups we went through, great, amazing groups of women. We had so much fun together. We had so many amazing shifts. You have to go to my webpage to see some of the testimonials. Honestly, you guys, this is worth it. And right now, you need a new focal point right now. You need to make this your purpose for your next 6 weeks. This will inspire you. It'll motivate you. It will give you something to grow and develop during this time that we have here at home, right? Because the new energies are rising. And this is what it's about, clearing out the debris. So the new group starts on Sunday at 7:00. We have our first group coaching call together. So Dalmaine, this is a new course. You haven't been in this one. So I'm not sure which one you're talking about. This one is Clearing Debris Through Forgiveness. And I put the link in the top of this video. But it's a brand new online course. It's 6 weeks, 40 days, creative activities. We go through every aspect of your life. So first we go through, how do you become miracle minded? Shifting your mind. What are the steps you need to take? Second week is self-love, right? A new self-perception. So we start working on loving ourselves more. The third week is body image. Lots to learn in that one. And the fourth week is relationships, so around us. And the fifth week is raise your self-worth, raise your net worth. So the fifth week is about money and abundance. The sixth week is about working miracles in your life. And by the end of that, there's just so much in every week and so many shifts. Every week we meet as a group. We do group coaching together. We talk about the growth and the epiphanies we had and the breakthroughs. And we also talk about what came up that may be blocking. We work through those shifts. These ladies in this group have access to me. I am there for them. It can be men too. Sorry, not just ladies, but in this group, it's been ladies so far. But I am there for them because as you start working through, you can text me, you can email me, and I help you through the weeks. It is just the most amazing thing. I can't say enough about how the creative activities as a creativity coach, a certified creativity coach, and May Cause Miracles, linking together to create these absolutely amazing growth spurts for you, clearing out the shit, right? It's time to let go of all that. Actually, that was the title that, instead of clearing debris through forgiveness, actually Gabby and I worked through that title, and she helped me come up with the title Clearing Debris Through Forgiveness. But I kept hearing from my guides, it's time to clear that shit out, mama. Right? So that's what we're doing, creating more space for light. Okay, so this is what clearing debris through forgiveness is all about. And I have it on special for you guys. I'm so glad you got here to the end, because you're going to see that I lowered the price for today until Monday. Monday is day 1 when we start. But with this lower price, you actually have to get your own book, because normally I buy the book and have it sent to you. So I love clearing shit. It feels so good to get it out. That stuff is toxic, right? Get it out of your system. So you probably, a lot of people have said they have the book. So what I'm doing is saying, I lowered the price. You have your own book. There's a 2-pay plan and 3-pay plan. So normally the price is $333, and the reason I picked that has to do with Kyle Gray's angel numbers. But I lowered the price for you to $258. So $258 in Kyle Gray's angel numbers is: make the choice that brings you closest to your joy, and your path will unfold effortlessly. Yes, that's what Kyle says. So if you decide you want to do this and do a 2-pay, it's you would pay today $138, and then pay what's it today, the 17th, April, May 17th, you'd pay the other $138. Okay, and if that number resonates with you, let me tell you what that means, because that's important. So that is, your angels and guides are encouraging you to forgive and release the past so that you can manifest a more fulfilling future. That's the one, you guys. Okay, but there is also a 3-pay plan. Okay, so if you decide you would like to do the 3-pay, because this is like, I want to make this accessible for everybody. So the 3-pay plan is $92 today, $92 May 17th, and then $92 June 17th, right? So $92 in Kyle Gray's is: your energy is paving the way for joyful and fun experiences to come to you. It's awesome. Yes. Now, once you are in, you will see, like Patty here said, I need to get past that week too. She's already was in the last group. She gets to stay and do it again. Like, once you're in, you're in. We have our own Facebook group that we share together. And every time I run this course, you can come back and do it again with us for free, because you're in there. You're doing the work. So that is what I wanted to share with you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Jack has questions. If you have any questions, let me know. I have the sale price up on the link. I am working on getting the 2-pay and 3-pay in there, because my website changed how you do that. So I was trying to do that this morning and it wasn't working for me. But if you want to do the 2 or 3-pay, just message me and I'll set it up for you. You don't have to go through the link. I'll just set it up through PayPal or e-transfer, whatever you want. And get your book, May Cause Miracles. If you haven't got it already, get your book. And I have a painting supply video that I will send you of what you need. And yeah, I think that's it. So okay, I was just checking to see if there was anything else to share with you. I don't think so. So I will say to you, this is it. I hope you'll join me. Sunday night is when we start, and we go right through into May, the end of May, I think. And we paint together, and you will come out of it with your own beautiful angel wings. I love you, and don't forget to intentionally create your day every day. Bye for now.